I see you flashing red
Yep. Hey guys, Angry Monkey here.
with Kajinama.
And we just wanted to take however long this video is going to be, looking at the Xbox 360 store one more time, and actually for the first time for me ever,
Yeah.
before the thing closes in a few days. I mean, by the time this uploads, the store's going to be gone, most likely.
Most likely, yeah.
But we just wanted to capture this moment in time of going through the Xbox store, seeing what the games are, see what the layout looks like, and if Kaj has any memories with some of these games or whatever, we can talk about that. But
Yeah. Honestly, it's going back to it from the newer Xbox stores. You can clearly see how much they've
changed.
upgraded.
Yeah. Now I know that you mentioned that this game was really good.
Yes, let's go ahead and actually go through the purchase process of a free game since
Okay.
it won't show anything.
Yeah, there's a bunch of weird issues with the Xbox,
Store today.
yeah. So this probably won't even work.
I think because there's no actual card being ran, it should. Yeah, there it goes. Because it just enables. There we go. Aegis Wing.
Oh.
That we'll have that
Okay.
going through for. Yeah, it's specifically the store portion, so I imagine it's like the card processing.
Okay.
Is what's happening.
But since this is free, then
It doesn't ever hit that. So
okay.
yeah, there you go. Hey, look, 50 megabytes. When was the last time you saw a game for 50 megabytes?
It's been a while. Oh, good times. I really miss those low.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Like
I got
on-
a couple games to download on your Xbox One, so if we're able to play it, a couple fun ones. Really good.
Yeah, because and then what? Continue.
Yep.
Okay.
Although you play now, would just take you straight into the game.
Okay.
so.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, it's kind of like my GameCube memory card. I've got what 30 games or 40 games data saved on that
Mhm.
because, and it's only like a 250K.
250, the 256. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so little, but the games were so little, the data was so little on those, it didn't matter.
Well, even now, most of the times it's not actually your save data that's bloating; it's the actual games itself. So
Yeah, bro.
yeah.
Okay, I do have Alan Wake. I've got that on the PS3.
Okay, yeah, that'll be something. I'll have to look up some on that game.
Mhm. I've got Alien Hominid on PS2.
If you want to, we can try that at some point. I've
Okay.
gone through, I believe, the entire game. It's a lot of I believe the entire game you have one hit point. So
Really? Okay.
or 2 hit points. You have very little health. So but it's just a shoot everything before it can shoot you, because they all have to run on screen and then pause and pull out their gun, or
Okay.
like in most cases you have a second or two to get rid of the enemies. before
Okay,
you
that's-
just get, and you've got grenades.
But that's nice. I think I have Alien Isolation. I'm not sure, but the cover art looks familiar.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have Alone in the Dark, but I think I have it on PS3.
Okay.
Altered Beast, classic Genesis game there.
Yep, definitely.
That looks familiar, but I don't think I have it, but I recognize the cover art.
Yeah.
A lot of these don't look familiar. Okay, Assassin's Creed. I've got you gave me that or sold me that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also own it digitally if you want to play it. So
And what about this one?
that's one that I could not pick up. I couldn't find it. And
Okay.
we looked at it. It doesn't load on the store right now. So
Okay.
but I also heard that FromSoft is supposedly looking at going back and doing one of the older, or remastering an old one.
Oh.
Success of the new one. So
Okay. So it's
I-
possible we might see that.
I'm hoping that they do 4 for Answer, 5 for Verdict Day.
Okay.
One of those 4. I'll take any of them.
Okay.
I didn't. I played 4 and 4 Answer a lot more, but any of those 4 I know are like the big, where a lot of people were playing it at that point. Before
Okay.
4, it wasn't, not as many people were playing it. So that's where
Okay.
the series got big in popularity. So
Uh,
I'd imagine from a game company standpoint, that's where they would start.
Assassin's
And-
Creed games. I know I'm pretty sure I've got that one. I'm not sure if I have, but I might have it.
They are remastering, what is it, 1 and 2? In a
Okay.
bundle. I think that's what it was, 1 and 2 in a bundle.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I'm like, maybe we'll actually make the story of 1 make sense again. What?
Maybe. I think I've got Chronicles of Riddick. I think I've got that. Asura's Wrath. That looks familiar.
I was just saying that looks familiar, but I don't know.
Yeah. Attack of the Movies 3D. Looks like a stupid game, but kind of fun.
It's one of those like classic arcade type games to put on a console. So
Okay.
I think that's what that was.
Okay.
And Awesome. That got, I think, ported to PC as well.
Okay.
I'm familiar with that.
I've never heard of that one. Go down to B. Backbreaker Vengeance. Oh, football. All right. Sports ball game. Band of Bugs. All right. I've got. Well, I mean, I've got
rare
replay,
so
but
you've got all of them.
yeah. But I also do have that physically, and I've got both Kazooie and Tooie both physically on the 64, as well as part of rare replay. So
I do
I've got
recommend if you decide to play it, do rare replay just because of the few quality of life changes that they
Yeah,
made.
you mentioned that. Something about the notes. Once you collect a note, you've got it for good. You don't have to.
Know, if you die, if you lose all your health, you don't have to recollect them again.
That's
on
nice.
The first game, and then they stop and swap stuff for the original. I was gonna how you could transfer some stuff over from 1 to 2.
Yeah,
They got because it's all one game, it works. Whereas
That's
on
nice.
the original one, it didn't. Due to some hardware limitations, it couldn't work. So, but they weren't informed about it until basically they were done. So it was the day they could go in and change it. Even though memory packs were a thing, they were like, let's do something weird and different. And then they were told last second, no, that won't work.
Wow.
So they're like, oh, well, we're kind of out of luck on that one.
It sounds like it.
Somebody actually managed to get it to work though, and there's actual footage of it. So
It sounds complicated though.
you have, I forget what it is, from turning off the console, pulling out the game, putting in the other one, and turning it on. I think you've got 4 seconds.
Okay.
And you also have to make sure that the memory doesn't clear too fast. And so they swapped from Banjo-Kazooie to a different game to make the memory clear slower or something. I don't remember. There's a video about it I watched once.
I don't like that. That sounds so
It
complicated.
was really complicated, but they were the only person to ever get it to work because
Okay.
normally because it's all stored in RAM, and RAM clears whenever you turn off the console, and so you had to swap the game, and they were originally told that you were going to have 12 seconds before it cleared, and instead it was 3.5. So it's no, you don't have
No.
you don't have time.
Batman, the Arkham games.
I know the Bastion game is good. I just haven't played about it. It was on the previous page.
Oh, okay. Never heard
I
of
know
that.
that one's a good one, but it's available on a lot of consoles, even newer ones. So
Okay.
I don't know where the best place to play it is, but I've heard it's a really good game.
Okay. Yeah, I've got the Arkham games on PS3. Telltale, that one sounds pretty good. I like the Telltale games. I've only played the Walking Dead.
Okay. If
but
you get them, I would be more than willing to do the Borderlands Telltale one.
okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Because they have a level of humor to them that you just can't.
Oh,
play in all the games.
oh yeah, I know that Borderlands has a lot of humor to it, and I know that you sold me the can't remember if you sold me the pre-sequel or if you sold me the Handsome trilogy. Both, maybe. I don't know.
I didn't have the Handsome trilogy because
No. You were working at Walmart and you're like, hey, buy this game. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, great game.
Battle Block. Yeah, you always talk about that. That's the same as the Castle Crashers people, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Because it looks like their art style.
Yep.
Battlefield 3, I know I've got that. Battle Stations, I've never heard of those.
It's a pretty good ship combat game, from what I've been told. Very arcade feeling.
Okay.
So very classic and good. Nice thing is that they are playable on Xbox One. I don't know if I haven't looked too much into the 360 server shutdowns, if it's they're removing all 360 games or if it's the 360 console.
Oh, okay.
So I won't know if in a week I can go buy these games on Xbox One or not.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I've got money that expires.
Oh.
My free money is expiring.
Oh, that's not good. Bayonetta, I've got both Bayonetta 1 and 2 on the Wii U.
Okay, yeah, yeah. And the Wii U can easily run those, so
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I wouldn't be concerned about
Beat and Groovy.
performance issues on there.
That's one
Beautiful Katamari, yeah.
I need to get that game. I think I had it in my hand once, but I think it was like the disc was so scratched up, or there was some reason why I didn't buy it. But so I'm still looking to get a copy of that.
And I know there's the Katamari Damacy.
I've got
the new one.
the new one. Yeah, I need to get that one too. I'm trying to decide if I want to get that on Switch or PS4 or 5 because I've got the original on PS2.
I would say either one of those. I wouldn't do Xbox because of gyro controls.
Okay.
Xbox does not support gyro controls.
Okay.
So
I'll keep that.
I would do PlayStation or Nintendo
I would
for that.
probably
because
do
of that.
Okay, I would probably go with PlayStation just because I associate the game with PlayStation. But Beautiful Katamari is only on the 360.
Oh yeah, so it's this weird because that was like one of the first ones.
Yeah, so that one I have to get on 360. But I think I'd probably get the new one on PS4 or PS5 just because I associate it with PlayStation.
Unless they did, if they decided to release either like an update or a patch or a like for the next Nintendo console.
Yeah.
Then it would be up for debate because some of the stuff Nintendo does is
True.
it's very interesting.
Bionic Commando, I've heard of that. Oh, and it's Capcom, so it's probably pretty good.
Yeah, I was gonna say Capcom typically they take their time making games.
So is that a sequel, or is that like
I actually don't. That looks so. Since it says
Oh,
arcade, it means it wasn't. Didn't ever get a physical release.
Okay.
So other than that, and I know Bioshock.
Bioshock 1, 2. I've beaten Bioshock I think twice. Bioshock 2 I have beaten once. I didn't get too far in Infinite, and I don't know why, but fantastic series. I love the Bioshock games. Like they're so good.
I honestly haven't.
You've not
I've not played it.
You've not played Bioshock.
I played 2 hours of the first one because I borrowed it from someone. I own all 3 games and most of the DLC for all 3 of them on PC, and I plan on streaming it at some point. But
one of these days, we got to play through Bioshock. It's such a good game.
I mean, I do plan on streaming because it is 2K. They make fantastic games.
Yeah.
Which that's a whole story with what's going on with them now. So.
Birds of Steel, Black. That looks familiar. I don't know if it's because I have it or just something that I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, an older EA game can sometimes be really good.
Yeah.
Black Ops. Hey, look.
Yeah.
But only 3.
Only Black Ops 3, not any of the others.
Yeah. Or is it because this is the Black Ops 3 bundle, and then under C we'll find Call of Duty Black Ops 2?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's some weird 360 did some weird things like that. It was such a.
This one looks familiar. I think I saw a Scott the Woz episode, and he talked about how terrible it was.
A lot of those Kinect games were very.
Yeah. Or am I thinking of a different game that he did?
A lot of Kinect games are just very
Yeah. Maybe it was a different game. There was a game that just kind of reminded me of this cover art or whatever, and he played it, and it was just terrible.
You find it. You should put it up on the episode. It's like this is what I was actually thinking.
Future me, do that. Blaze Blue,
yes, that is a series.
I do have a Blaze Blue game.
Yes, I think that's the one. That's the artwork I'm more familiar with.
Okay, yeah, I think I have that, or I have another Blaze Blue game. Blinks
the Time Sweeper.
I actually just picked that up last month on original Xbox.
I'll have to look up that game because I remember hearing good things about it.
I hear it's really good.
I just don't know if I ever played it.
Yeah, I hear it's really good, and it's also one of the exclusives to the original Xbox. You couldn't get it on PS2, you couldn't get it on GameCube. It was only on original Xbox. I mean, obviously now 360, but you know what I mean. Blood Drive, Blood Knights, Blood Forge, Blood Rain, Bloody Good Time.
Hey.
Blowout.
Blue Dragon.
I picked up Blue Dragon recently.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's a good one.
Bolts, Bomberman Act Zero. That
was their
attempt. Bomberman.
That was their attempt at trying to make a I think it was the first attempt at online multiplayer Bomberman.
Okay, and
And
it failed.
The problem was just that it wasn't ready for online multiplayer. And
Okay.
then later on, they did the Bomberman Live, which actually did decent.
And
Well-
that's what I associate Bomberman looking like. He should look like that. I don't know what they're trying to do here with
That
that
was-
weird design, but
Yeah, I was just saying. I mean,
Boogie Bunnies.
yep.
Borderlands
1, 2, prequel.
pre-sequel. Bound by Flame. I think I've heard of that, but
Yeah, Braid. Yeah, I forgot about Braid is on here.
I don't know that one.
Would you mind going into that one? I want to see what the price on it is.
$10.
$10. It's a
Okay.
side-scrolling platformer, but
Okay.
you also can manipulate.
You what?
You manipulate time.
Oh.
So you have to you'll sometimes have to hit things and go back in time and have the clone of yourself go do one
Oh, that's
action while
cool.
you do another.
That's cool.
And then there's some actions that aren't affected by time, so you can push them and then rewind time, and then they stay where they were pushed.
Interesting. Sounds pretty cool.
It was a really cool concept, and
Yeah.
it got big name. When it came out, it made the puzzle scene. So
Interesting. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. Brave, Breakdown, I've not heard of.
Brink was a good idea. From what I remember, it was a good idea, but the problem is that people weren't ready for it.
Okay.
It was supposed to be I think it was the parkour shooter that came out in 360 time. Parkour shooter is not a concept that it really
Yeah.
exists.
Interesting. Yeah, that
I mean, this was before
that sounds
anyone.
pretty advanced.
It was before anyone, but it's no one wanted to pick it. I think it's because some of the mechanics didn't quite work out because it was the first time anyone had done that. So it was
Brothers in Arms.
Brothers in Arms, yeah. Brothers.
I've got that on PS4.
Yeah, I heard
Brutal Legend, I've got that on
I think I
PS3.
own that on PC.
Okay.
Not one I don't know. If
I
it's
would-
one
I'd love to record that, but I would have to turn all the music off.
which is half the game. It's
Yeah.
music.
I mean, we could still enjoy the music references, like Ozzy's in there, and I think Lemmy's in there, but
The reason no one does Guitar Hero
Yeah.
or that is because it's copyright strikes everywhere.
oh yeah. But I mean, there's still a good game.
Oh yeah.
It's just the music is it's a rock and roll game. Yeah. Bubble Bobble. I've got the original NES.
Oh yeah, that's all you need. I mean, it's
Okay.
very close.
Okay. Bullet Soul. I've not heard of those.
Bulletstorm. I remember looking at that game.
It feels familiar. I don't remember.
Epic and EA.
I think either I've got it on PS3 or I downloaded the demo, or I think maybe a friend downloaded the demo of Bulletstorm on my PS3. And I remember we were going to play it. He was staying the night. This is back 2011 or something. And he stayed the night at my house. And it took all night to download the demo that we never played it.
Yeah, no, but I do remember. I think that one had some interesting weapon concepts that weren't
Okay.
really. They were playing outside of the standard sandbox on weapons
Pretty cool.
when it came out. So
Which I've not heard of. Bully, I've got that on PS2, but
Okay.
The one I have is a standard case with a greatest hits disc.
nice.
So
How
I'll
does that
probably
compare to the scholarship edition? I don't know.
I don't know, but
We'll have to find out.
Bureau.
Euro Burnout, which is great games.
I've got.
I think it's Revenge though. I think Revenge is the one I played.
I know I have Burnout Paradise, but I think I've got 2 of the Burnout games. I'm gonna do this real quick. If I can spell Burnout. I do have okay. I've got Revenge. I've got Revenge, and I've got
'Cause I
Paradise.
think Revenge and Paradise were my favorites too. I liked Burnout was one of the only games that I was like, wow, they actually went there. There's a whole mode dedicated to how much damage can you cause.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
love
like,
that.
Just letting people let their just frustrations out in a constructive way is
I love it.
fantastic.
I love it. Yeah,
And not enough games do it.
yeah. Burnout Crash. All right, up to the seas now. Wow, we've been spending a lot of time and we're only in the seas. So let's try to speed up a little
Command
bit.
and Conquer, good games. You can get them on a lot of platforms.
Oh, yeah.
Galadrius, I don't know. Call of Duty Classic, which for some reason it won't let you purchase.
Yeah, I'm so upset about that.
I would just say, see if it
Yeah.
actually hold on. Look, most of these games have the little Xbox controller with the play button on
True,
it.
yeah.
I wonder if it's a if there's like a region like permissions issue type deal. I wonder if it's like it's on the system, but there's
But
like
US
the
can't
US
play it?
can't buy it. Or
That's weird.
I that's the only thing I can think of. Because
Huh.
all these other ones have the play button
Yeah.
next to it, but that one doesn't.
Interesting.
But it also still lets you try and purchase it, so it's a very weird.
It's probably just glitchy because of all the Microsoft stuff.
Yeah, it could be Microsoft.
Yeah.
Call of
Call of
Duty
Duty 2,
games, they're-
3, 4, 5. I've got all of those on 360. In fact, viewers, I played this one on the channel, so you can check out my playthrough of the full series of Call of Duty 2 if you want.
Yeah, when you get to some of the later ones, depending upon the consoles you have them on, I would gladly join you for some multiplayer. And
Okay. I Modern Warfare 2.
I don't remember which ones have multiplayer campaigns.
Modern Warfare 2, I can't remember if I've got on 360 or PS3. I know Black Ops I had on PS3, and then later on I got a 2-pack of 1 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I picked up 3 at some point too. I know I've got one of the Call of Juarez games. I think it's Bound in Blood. I don't think I have Cartel. Capcom Arcade Cabinet, Capsized.
Focus.
Never heard of that one.
It's a kind of like a puzzle board game.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Surprised it's on 360 because I mean I'm not surprised, but I'm surprised. I didn't expect them to have made that many like board game type things for 360. But I guess
Yeah.
they also did Uno and that,
That's
which was
true.
probably towards the end of them.
Yeah. Carnival games.
But out of all of them, yeah, I'm like that and Catan are like the two big ones that like
Mm.
get made. And
So I've got one of the Carnival games on the Wii, and that game was such a huge disappointment. That was probably like they advertised that game. I'm like, man, that game looks going to be so cool, and you play it. I'm like,
nope.
this is one of the worst games I've ever played.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, especially with the Wii controls, there's so much potential they could have done with that, and they just
Oh yeah, that's why I'm like
it
this.
bombed.
The Switch stuff with how much better their motion controls is.
Mhm.
I'm like the next console. I'm wondering how they're going to improve it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine since it's supposed to be backwards compatible with the Switch games.
Cars and Cars Mater National, Cars 2.
Cars 3, Cars Racer
Dude,
R.
why are there so many Cars games?
Because Cars came out at this point. Cars 1 came out during this time.
Yeah,
And so they were trying to capitalize on the market.
I guess so.
Castle of Illusion.
Castle Storm, Castlevania. I've got, I think that one. I think.
Those of Shadow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But I don't have any of these. Oh, something. Huh. They had that on the Xbox 360? Interesting. I've got that on the original PlayStation.
Yeah.
Catherine, I remember I saw one of the Catherine games in a steel case at GameStop, and I had it in my hand, and I would put it back, and the next time I'm there, they have it, and I put it in my hand, and I put it back, and then after like 8 times of that, I'm like, I'm actually going to get that game this time. And somebody bought it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how that works.
Yeah. There's been a few of those times where that's happened, but Centipede and Millipede, Charlie Murder, Child of Eden, Child of Light.
Light was one I played. Ubisoft, so it's it's kind of in some weird like because it was part of the old Ubisoft systems.
Okay.
It doesn't they didn't transfer it over to all the new stuff, so it's like some weird like sometimes the in-game content doesn't always the extra stuff that you get doesn't always work.
Are these part of the same series then?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because you mentioned Ubisoft on.
Child of Light, yeah. I don't know much about Child of Eden if it's
Okay.
but I know Child of Light.
Choplifter.
Civ Rev, which, what can you do on a, Civilization on the console always has some limitations, but they managed to do decently.
Okay. Cloning Clyde. Cloudberry Kingdom.
That's the platform I told you about, the hard one that each
Oh.
level gets more and more difficult.
Okay, I don't want to play that one.
I was gonna say I have it on Wii U. Music's kind of catchy, and you can easily spend time, and it's just one of those play until you can't anymore. Have fun during it, and whenever it starts getting frustrating, call it a day.
Well,
That's how I do
that'll
it.
that'll be me on level 1. So
It's I'll send you a video
okay.
of that, and
Destiny.
Proton John from Runaway Guys. He played that and got really far on it.
Really?
Some of that stuff is. I'm like, I consider myself decent at platformers. Not anymore.
Comic Jumper, Comic
You've
Zone.
got Comic Zone, right?
No, I've never seen that before.
What was I say? You might as part of one of the retro packs that you got from me,
Okay.
because that's a classic, Sega game where you basically was like a side scroller beat 'em up,
Okay.
classic. But you were moving through the pages of a comic book.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah,
And
I've never
you
heard
got
of
to
it.
the end, you choose if you want to go to the next page over, the next page down, like the next panel down. So it's like it got to some pretty interesting concepts for such an old game.
Yeah. Commander's Attack, Conan, Condemned. Oh, that's a good game. I played a little bit of Condemned. It's a spooky game. Conquer, I do have that physically on the original Xbox. Constant C, Contra, I guess that's like the original.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool. I've got that.
Remake of the original. Just a lot of times when you see arcade, it's an older game that they added on,
Oh,
or a game that wasn't big enough to do a physical release.
So, yeah, I've got the NES of Contra, Costume Quest 2, Crackdown 2.
Crash.
I've got that one on GameCube. That one I don't think I have, but I do have that one on PS2. Crazy Machines, I've never heard of that. Crazy Taxi, I've actually got on the Dreamcast. Played it on the Dreamcast, by the way. Got 3 episodes on that. Check it out, especially.
Only 3?
Well, yeah.
It's not very long. Yeah. I get it.
But check out episode 1 specifically, because that's the one where for some reason everything glitched out. So I'm driving in the abyss. It's funny.
Are you going too fast?
No, it started out that way. It was like some weird disk read error, and it just like glitched. And I'm like, and because I remember I recorded episode 2 before I recorded episode 1, because I remember that happened. And I'm like, I really wish that I was able to record that. And then I'm like, all right, well, there's only like 1 episode or 2 episodes, and I think I just really wanted to play not Castle Crashers, Crazy Taxi. And that happened. I'm like, okay, I'm going to record a 3rd episode and make it the 1st episode, because I finally recorded that experience.
Yeah, because I think that was one of the ones is if you drive too fast, the game just has problems loading. So if you do like really good, the game just starts to deload because it just struggles to keep up. There's a couple of games where it's like, oh, you just weren't intended to go max speed all the time. So like it got too good. You ended up start unloading like textures. And
Wow. Yeah, like I was driving in the abyss, like just people and invisible buildings. So like I could see where people are, but I've got Crimson Skies on the original Xbox. Crisis, these look familiar, but I don't know why.
They were very popular games there for even to this day.
Okay.
Actually, if you look at that Crystal Defenders, because that is Final Fantasy.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. It is Final Fantasy.
Yeah, well, I noticed because that's Final Fantasy Tactics characters.
Well, I recognize the
Black Mage.
Yeah, I recognize him.
I recognize I don't remember the name guy on there's the Moogle, and then there's the second one there, and like that guy only exists in Final Fantasy Tactics. He was not part of anything else. It's a tower defense game.
Huh.
That is a tower defense game.
Interesting. That's pretty cool.
It's actually
Crystal Quest. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, we got to fly.
We gotta.
Yeah.
All right.
Dante's Inferno. I got that. Dark. I've never heard of. Dark Souls. I've got, but I don't know.
That'll be one of those that we'll just be like, see here, and then just link to us.
Yeah.
I got a friend who just does the Dark Souls games. Like he plays them and he does pretty decent at them.
Okay. Dark Void looks familiar. I don't know if I have it, but it looks familiar.
The Darkness is actually a pretty cool game series.
Uh-huh.
It was all about what was it, the Mafia, and you wielded dark powers.
Ooh.
So you had to like gain your dark powers, and like so you had to deal with like people coming after you because you had dark powers, and then people coming after you because you were the Mafia. So
and it's also you said and you like the 2K games because of BioShock, so that's also by 2K. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
And the Darkness 2 actually added in a multiplayer function, if I remember correctly. And there were 4 different playable characters, each with their own like specific powers, and
that's pretty
like
cool.
I'm like, why isn't there a Darkness 3? I don't know. It was a really cool concept.
Darksiders, I think I have Darksiders 2 on
I've heard it's a good series. I've not played
Yeah.
too much of it.
Darkstalkers, Darkstar 1, Darts versus Zombie.
That's a Connect game. I can
Okay.
see immediately. You can see the level of quality here.
Darwinia, The Blob, I think I've got that on like PSP or something. Dead Rising, I know I've got, or
Dead
Dead
Island.
Island. We're not at Dead Rising yet. Dead Island, I've got that on PS3. I think I might have Riptide also on PS3. Dead or Alive, one of the guys in my server, Joe Schmo, he loves, I think, the volleyball of Dead or Alive.
That is far too telling. We should move on.
Okay.
Dead Rising. There's the Dead Rising.
Yeah, Dead Rising 1 and 2, I played both those on the channel. One of my, like, those are easily, like, in my favorite games of all time. Dead Rising 2 is also part of that.
Yeah.
I just got Case West in this recording session, like, right before we hit record. I got Case West. I've never played Case West, but I'm excited because it's Frank West in the setting of Dead Rising 2, but not really the same, because that's also, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what it
Do
is,
you
but
have the Dead Space games?
I've got 1 and 3. I don't remember if I got 2.
Okay.
But yes, I
Okay,
do
'cause
have.
that would be. I played a bit of Dead Space 1 and 2 are very, very horror themed. Dead Space 3 dials back the horror and makes it co-op.
Oh, okay.
And so some people were like, it's no longer a horror game. What are they doing? And it's
Mhm.
like, it was horror elements. So like you still have the same scary monsters, but they cut out a lot of like the jump scares
Oh.
and like the actual like scary parts. And it was
Okay.
just Resident Evil horror shooter. Like,
Hmm. And I've never heard of this one.
actually, I'm not familiar with it, but considering it's an arcade game, it means it never actually got a physical release.
I wonder if that's like the traditional type of arcade with the guns where you got like.
Yeah, it could be that like arcade, the rail shooter.
Oh, I don't know.
Scroll down over to the details.
What is this?
Yeah, if you go over to details, it should tell you. 2 players, action and adventure, puzzle and trivia game.
Weird. Okay.
Dead to
Dead to
Rights,
Rights.
Deadfall, Deadliest Warrior.
I've got a couple that like it was like a 2-pack of the Deadliest Warriors games where it's like, yeah, Deadliest Warrior and Legends. I got both those in like a 2-pack on the PS3.
Yeah, I was gonna say that makes sense because they were like the arcade style games.
Yeah.
They typically don't get a release by themselves, but they'll do the 2-pack type
Okay.
deals to get a physical release.
Okay, but I've never heard of Battlegrounds, but
Deadlight, Deadly Premonition.
that one looks familiar.
Death by Cube.
Death Tank,
Death Tank.
Death Smiles, Death Spank. So Death Tank and Death Spank.
And Death Spank TOV.
Huh. Deep Black, Defenders of Ardania, Defense Technica,
Technica, yeah.
Destination Arcade, Destroy Humans. I've got that on PS2.
And then there's the Path of the Fuhrer.
Don't know what that is. It's not.
Deus Ex.
It's not 2. I've got Deus Ex, I think. I've got that
DMC.
on PS3. I've got that on 360.
Okay. Actually, there was a reason. Diablo 3 actually had a very cool tie-in on if you bought the Switch version.
Oh yeah.
They had some Zelda themed content that you got.
Neat.
And I think you could get what was it? Ganondorf's cloak.
Oh, that's cool.
They're like that's such a cool like one tie-in.
I
Like,
might need to get the Switch version. Wasn't there an amiibo for it?
I think you could use any Ganondorf or like the Zelda themed amiibos.
Okay, I thought they made like a Diablo specific.
They may have. I don't remember all of those. 'Cause
Is Loot Goblin? Is that a Diablo thing? What is the Loot Goblin from?
Loot Goblin. That's
Am I just being dumb right now?
I was gonna say I don't remember offhand. There's a couple things that have a Loot Goblin type deal. So I
Okay.
know Diablo is one of those that has that type of an enemy, but that's also a common concept in Borderlands. That's also a common concept in like 1,000 different games. So I know they did.
I'm gonna look it up because I'm pretty sure I've got the amiibo of. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, Loot Goblin.
yeah. Okay, so that
Diablo.
was
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, I'm like, I knew they have one. I don't know if it's specifically called Loot Goblin.
Yeah.
Because, like-
so that was also something that was compatible with the Switch version. So I want to get the Switch version of it that way I can use the amiibo. But
Yeah, I'm like, because it has amiibo support. It does all the
Yeah.
things the other ones do. I actually really hope that they do I personally hope that Nintendo does the way of PlayStation more than Xbox for their next console. But we'll talk about that later since we're on a time limit here.
Dishonored,
Great game.
I've got it, but I've not played it. I've got both the Epic Mickey games on Wii, I think.
Yeah, that's actually where I think they're
Okay.
actually really good
Okay.
because the pointing mechanics are just very intuitive.
Okay.
Because I think otherwise you have to use the control stick, and it's
Okay.
just one of those where it's like that pointing mechanic can be very intuitive. Watch out, but I think it might have a slight performance issue on a couple of spots. But you know,
Okay. I hear the
and
Wii version was better than the Wii U version for Epic Mickey 2, I think.
I think a lot of it was just like what was the point? Like the releasing it on both, like the video, like but just buy it on the one because.
Okay, maybe.
Because they might have done like some gamepad stuff. It's like, why is that necessary? Like, should have just got the Wii version and just done all of the stuff that you don't know.
Okay.
Because I know sometimes they do that where they try to use the gamepad for things that really don't need it.
DMC, Devil May Cry, which is kind of funny that they label it DMC, not Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
But I hear that one wasn't that good because it was like a weird, like,
Yeah. Was that one of the times they tried to like reboot?
yeah, and it just kind of
I
flopped.
just kind of
Yeah.
Dark Messiah of Might and Magic Elements.
Never heard of that.
I've heard those games can be very like. I heard that they were decent quality games, not amazing quality, but like
Okay.
fun.
Okay.
Fun for your money, not must buy, anything like that.
Okay.
That's what I heard at least.
Double Dragon 2.
I was gonna say there's the Doritos Crash Course game that was free. It was literally Wipeout.
Okay.
It's just Wipeout.
Okay,
that's all it is.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like that I feel like I've seen that before. Yeah, okay.
It's just Wipeout, and it was all Doritos themed.
Okay, we looked this one up and you said this was basically just like
It was like
A
a
prototype?
preview. Yeah, like it was more about like the start of Dead Rising 2 and your save data would transfer over.
Okay.
But I don't know if it includes anything extra. Not
Okay.
that I could really tell. A lot of people were just like buy Dead Rising 2. Like I think it does a cutscene instead of like gameplay or something, but like you find out all the same information from what I was getting.
Okay.
I mean, there might be small details that if like you're a hardcore fan that you might miss out.
But
I'd say at that point, because of how hard it's going to be to get that game, there are ways to still find out that information. There are people who do play that, so you could definitely take an in-depth look.
Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2. I know I've got a couple of these.
Age
Dragon
games are
Slayer.
fun. The Dragon Age games they've got some good mechanics and good
Okay.
quality. Just keep in mind they are not short games. When you go into them, they're feature length.
Okay. That's cool. Dragon
Fantasy
Slayer.
feature length, as you could say.
Oh no. I know what you mean. Dragon Slayer, I've got that on the Sega CD.
Okay.
DuckTales Remastered, I've got that on the Wii U. Duke Nukem, I've got I think that one on
Yeah,
PS3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dungeon Defenders, great game.
Okay.
But like I said, like I told you before, PC, fantastic. They added a lot more stuff. There's a couple nice features about Dungeon Defenders Awakened, which is the remake for Xbox One and that. But
Okay.
the original did just recently get two more DLCs in the last month. So
Okay. Dungeon Siege 3, I have that. In fact, I think I have 2 copies of it because one of them sealed. One of them
I
sealed.
recently played that game. Actually, it was more enjoyable than I
Okay.
was expecting it to be.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dragon's Daggerdale. I wish that they would do more of that type of deal on new games, but they don't. Baldur's Gate's kind of pushed them out of the.
Okay.
But it was just a classic. The big difference is this is an action game, not a turn-based game.
Okay.
So it's a lot of you use your ability and then it goes on cooldown for so long.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, I don't know. It's been literally 10 years.
Probably.
I don't even know how many years it's been stuff like that.
I've got a couple
But
that
I thought it was action based.
I've got a
Well, it
few
could've
of
been turn-based. It
these.
could have turn-based now. Think about it. All I remember is the dumb final boss. You were fighting on the back of a dragon. It will just tip. Oh, you fall.
That sounds horrible.
It will like forecasted where you had to
Okay.
stand, but it was one of those
Okay.
where it's like you've got to run to the other side and stop whatever you're doing, and otherwise you're just gone.
I don't like that. I've got a few of the Dynasty Warriors games,
They're
but
not bad.
yeah, they're fun.
It's well, I just call
They're-
it the Warriors because it's Dynasty Warriors.
They're
Fire
that
Emblem
would definitely be
Warriors.
a game that if we play it on the channel, it would be like not long recording sessions because we'd get burnt out like after. Like,
It's
an
one of
hour
those
or
that I
something.
would say I would do Fire Emblem Warriors or Hyrule Warriors,
Which I think I have both of those.
and I would do like one level, and that's it.
Okay, that's fair.
Just to prevent burnout on, because if you start getting burnout, you can start losing those missions and just be stuck in up.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes you will lose, and then you'll have to like do it again. Which took me a few tries to get through one of these levels because you have to like. I can't imagine how you do it single player because you have to attack two fronts simultaneously, and if you do one too fast, wherever you push, the other side gets stronger if you don't defeat it in time. And so it's like a balancing act.
Okay.
So two players, it wasn't too bad. It was just try to go at the same time and
Okay.
go at the same speed. So
Okay, so here are some of these.
Earth Defense Force, I've heard that's a good series. Eat Lead, Echo the Dolphin, I think.
Yeah, I got that on
Elements of
Genesis.
Destruction I've heard of, but that's about it. Enemy Front.
Yeah, a lot of these I've not heard
Escape
of.
Dead Island.
I think I've got that. I've heard of this game.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
I hear it's good. I've just not played it.
Yeah. And
Wow.
Exit 2. Yeah, I was going to say 14 titles you can see in the top right.
Yeah.
now.
That's kind of nice.
All right, F. There's 56 F titles. All right.
Okay, Fear
Fear,
2 and
heard of
3.
it.
Never heard of them. Maybe.
Fable, great
I've
title.
got one of the. I know I've got Fable 2. I've got Fable 3. I've got Fable 1 with the DLC.
Okay, so the Lost Chapters. That
Yeah.
one. Fable Anniversary adds in a couple bits of I think it adds in a couple things of like stuff that was almost done that they just didn't like enable find spawn points in that for, but like for the most part, the base game with the DLC gives you almost everything that I think they've added in like one more like little bit of the story arc or something. I don't remember fully, but I remember it's almost the exact same.
Okay. Fable Heroes.
Oh, they look Fable Trilogy.
Yeah, Fable. Yeah,
I
Fable 2. I love that game. I don't beat a lot of games because I just don't. I have beaten Fable 2. I just love that game.
Fable Heroes was surprisingly fun. I did buy it. I did play it. So
Connect.
I know like Fable.
In Fable pub games.
Yeah, it was a promotion for Fable 2. They released it I think before Fable 2 came out.
Okay.
And you could earn money in the pub games and start your Fable 2 game with money, I believe. So
That's cool. Fallout 3, in my opinion, one of the greatest games ever made. New Vegas, it's not as good as 3 in my opinion, but I still love New Vegas.
Yeah, I was gonna say I never beat either of them.
I've put a lot of hours into Fallout 3. Like I would just like
I've heard that Fallout 3 has better combat, Fallout New Vegas has better role playing elements. So
that's fair.
Depending upon what aspects you like better is which one you'll like better.
And I guess because Fallout 3, that was like the first time I played a game of that type of genre before.
Yeah, and
and
I played a little bit of New Vegas. I played a little bit of 3, but then the first game that I actually like owned and got to sit down and play of the Fallout games was Fallout 4.
Okay.
So I really got into that.
Hey, that's fair. Fallout 4 is great. I just can't get any further because last time I played, the whole Xbox crashed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the game crashed, not the Xbox, but the game crashed, and then you go back and then it crashes again. So it's like, okay, for some reason I'm not allowed to go in this room, which you kind of need to go through to finish whatever level or mission I was doing.
Yeah, sometimes it's a spawning issue and you have to wait. I forget how many. There's like 7 days or whatever for it to like reset the spawning on certain things. That was literally the bug. I encountered a bug where an NPC wasn't spawning, and so I couldn't turn in the quest.
Wow.
So I'm like, great. Let me. It was near the end of the game. Like I had like 3 quests left or something, and I just couldn't beat it because of. I'll get around to starting it over and playing it again.
We can play it on the channel at some point.
Yeah, we'll take. You know,
Far Cry. I don't know what this one is compared to this. I mean, Blood
It
Dragon.
was a on 360.
Oh,
It
it's
was
arcade
released
game.
as a separate game. I believe it also was released available as a DLC. But basically, it was like its own separate title, but you could just launch it from inside Far Cry
Okay.
if you wanted to, or you could buy it separate. I think that's
cool.
cool. I think they did it that way.
Okay.
But from what I heard, Blood Dragon was very good.
Okay. I've got most of the. I don't think I have 2, but I know I've got 3. I know I've got 4.
And there's what 5 and 6.
Yeah, and I think I've got 5 and 6.
I played.
Is that like the first one or something?
I think that's supposed to be 1 and 2. There.
1 and 2. Okay.
There were 1 and then 2
Oh,
there. So.
okay, yeah. Okay. Cool.
Farming
Farming Simulator. I
if
hear
you
those
like
are
it,
pretty
you like
fun.
it.
Yeah.
I'd say it's one of those better with friends type games.
Oh, definitely.
If you've got people to play with, it can be a blast.
Okay.
But you have to have the right kind of people, the
Right.
right kind of mindset going in,
Right.
and you have to be very cooperative about it because you can easily not survive.
Yeah, I believe it. Okay, Fatal Inertia, Feeding Frenzy 2. I have the demo for one of those. I don't know how I got it, but
Fez, I heard was good, but
okay.
you can get it on a lot of systems.
Okay.
I think even on newer systems, you can still get it. It was a platformer game, but you could. It was a 2D platformer in a 3D environment,
Oh, interesting.
so you could like climb around objects, but it was still 2D
Oh.
platform.
Neat. Okay.
I want to say that they actually had to design their own game engine in order to be able to do because game engines didn't allow that at the time.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
it was either
Next.
all 3D or all 2D, and
Fight
if you
Nights.
played Odyssey, like how you go into like the
Oh, yeah.
like that.
Okay.
Just the whole game is that.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like,
That's cool.
If that's the game I'm thinking about, yeah, I'm like it's and considering this was back,
And-
10 plus years ago,
Yeah.
that's a fantastic for.
Fighting
Love that
Vipers.
everything we can call everything here just 10 plus years ago. It's just-
That's weird to me. Fighting Viper. I've got that on the Sega Saturn,
okay.
I think. By the way, apparently the Japanese version of Fighting Vipers, if you lose the very first match, you unlock Pepsi Man, I think.
Final
Some,
Exam, Final Fantasy, which some of those are,
I think I've got all 3 of these. The Final Fantasies. Fire Pro Wrestling, Fire Burst, Fist of the North Star. That's pretty cool.
I've heard those are good
Flashback.
games. Flashback, okay. Flock or classic arcade, just one of those fun arcade games that they put out. I think
Okay.
it's you have to. I don't know if it's you're protecting the sheep from the wolves or you're trying to attack the sheep, and I don't know. I remember like looking at it for 2 seconds, but
Okay.
that's about it. 2 seconds.
I'll play Freefall Racers, Fret Nice, Frogger, Classic Frogger, Hyper Arcade Edition, Frogger 2, From Dust,
Which I heard was good.
Frontlines.
The front lines, which I also heard was good.
Okay.
Um,
Frozen!
Snowball Fight.
Yay! Fruit Ninja. I've heard of Fruit Ninja.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Connect. Okay. I think I've heard of that being like a DS game where you got to use like the stylus to like slice stuff.
Or phone game,
Yeah.
PS game, Connect, which was an obvious extension of it.
Yeah. Fusion Frenzy. We played that, not me and you, but me. It's like church group back in like
I played
like
this.
youth group back in like 2005 or whatever. I mean that game was so fun.
For its time, yeah, I honestly think that more arcade style games could do really good. They just have to be able to know how to adapt well for the online.
Yeah.
All right, so 42 titles here. Let's see. I don't know very many of these.
Well, I mean Galaga's
Oh,
Galaga.
well, Galaga, yeah. Everyone knows Galaga.
Yeah. Gears of War.
There's four.
I've got all
It's
4 of
Rise.
those.
I want to play through them again,
Okay.
so maybe we'll look at doing that at some point.
Okay.
Geometry
Now,
Wars.
I've got one of the demos for
Probably
those.
I think the first one,
Okay.
and then second one was good. Third one they decided to do more, and it was one of those you like it, you like it, you don't.
Okay.
1 and then 2 was like a lot.
Okay.
They did a lot of good stuff there.
I think I've got this one, Ghost
From
Recon.
me, I think.
Okay.
If not, I have a digital copy of it.
One of these Ghostbusters game I actually heard was really good, and it was almost like Ghostbusters 3 before they made Ghostbusters 3 in a couple years ago.
Oh,
And I'm not talking about the woman one that nobody liked. I'm talking about like the true Ghostbusters.
yeah,
3.
I don't know.
But it was like you had like the cast from the movie, and it was like apparently a really good game.
Yeah.
I think it was that one, but I'm not sure. Goat Simulator. I hear that one's fun.
It's just some fun chaos with friends, type of deal.
I've got one of the Goosebumps games, but not this one. I've got one that came out on Xbox One.
I did not realize Gotham City Imposters was on 360.
I didn't either.
Grabbed by the Ghoulies.
I want to get that on original Xbox.
Okay.
I guess it might be in rare replay, but I want to get it on the original Xbox as well. GTA 5. So weird to see GTA 5 on 360.
Considering they made a 360 version, an Xbox One version, and an Xbox Series version, and the versions can't play with each other.
Really?
Yeah. You had to choose to move your save data from 360 to Xbox One, and then you can't go back once you've moved it. And then you had to do the same thing from Xbox One to Xbox Series, and you can't go back, you can't play with each other.
Whoa, that's weird.
And there's like exclusive content to each version. It's all, and then they pushing for this monthly subscription, so it's all dumb.
Yeah. Okay. I've heard of any of those. GTA 4, Guardian Heroes, Guilty Gear. I've heard of Guilty Gear.
I've heard of Guilty Gear, yeah.
I think I might have a Guilty Gear game. I think I got Gun on PS2.
Guncraft, because we want Minecraft with guns.
Everything's better with guns. Gunstar Hero. Oh yeah, that's a classic. I was gonna say I've heard of that, but that's a classic. Yeah.
Gyromancer is just a puzzle game. And there's that.
H.
Half Minute Hero.
Halo Waypoint. I don't know what that is.
That was a technically it's more of a software than a game. It lets you view it lets you have access to betas, I believe, through that. You also could view news about upcoming things because this was before. And you could also do, I think you could look at game stats and things like that for there that weren't readily available inside the game.
Okay.
So you could look up win-loss ratings and things like that.
Okay. Handball, Happy Tree Friends, Backgammon, yeah. Hardwood Hearts, Hardwood Spades, Arms Way.
That's a good game.
Okay, I've never heard of that one.
It's a Arms Way by Doritos. But it's a fun game. Actually, if you go into Harm's Way, is it free still?
Yeah.
Go ahead and just claim it real quick.
Sure.
That way you have it. It's one person is a driver and the other person uses turrets around the map to try to shoot out tires and things on the opposing vehicles. But every team is consistent of one shooter and one driver. But your turrets aren't on the vehicles; they're on around the map.
Oh,
so it's this really interesting concept. You can just go ahead and press B, and we can keep going, and that'll just download the back.
Okay, cool. Your B button's a little sticky.
Yeah, it's a little. I mean, the controller's howled it by this point.
Well, yeah, but mine doesn't do that. But it's only the A button. Hey, Haunt looks like a fun game, but it's Connect, so it's probably bad.
Haunted House, Heavy Weapon. That's a pretty fun one.
Wasn't that one I have the demo of?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a side scroller, enemies comes down from the top and you grab a tank and you move back and forth.
Okay.
I believe I own it, and it's a pretty fun type of game.
Okay. Exodius, History, Legends.
Could never beat it because it gets just so difficult. It gets so difficult.
This one?
No, the Heavy Weapon. It just the later levels just become everything is coming at you.
Okay. Legends of War. I've got some of these Hitman. Yeah, I've got Blood Money. I've got Absolution. And I think I do have 1 and 2 spread out over multiple consoles. Original Xbox 360.
They now have, what was it? Hitman, World of Hitman, which is just one Hitman game. All of the title, all of the missions in one game.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
And I think it does I think they were trying doing a whole if you own Hitman 3, you get some of the content for free, and they were trying to do something there to make it just easy to do all of the Hitman stuff. I think it actually was basically just all 3 games bundled into one.
That's cool.
And it just was launch whatever you want and play it as it was. So it's I don't know how well that did, because so many people were well, why can't I just go back and buy Hitman 3? Because I think they delisted some of the stuff. So it was they pushed too hard.
Okay.
Hydra Thunder Hurricane is the next one that I know I've done.
I have Hunter the Reckoning, but I've not played it, of course. But Hydrophobia.
Yeah, but Hydra Thunder Hurricane. Just boat racing, basically.
Oh, okay.
But like, kind of fun.
Okay.
Did you have because there was original Hydro Thunder for what was it? N64, I think is what it was.
Well, that was Wave Race, but
No, there was another Hydro Thunder game. Maybe it was. I thought there was one for N64, but there was
Maybe.
like it was like it meant to compete with Wave Race. Like it was
Really?
like
Okay.
the competitors version, but it was
Wow.
just boats instead.
oh, that's cool.
I thought there was a. I
handball.
thought there was an original one, or maybe it was like they were trying for that, and then they like had to
Okay.
like cancel it and go forward. I don't remember anymore. It's been so little.
Ikaruga. I didn't know that was on 360. I mean, I know it's an arcade, but it's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've got Injustice.
I think I got Injustice as well.
Okay.
Same with Twisted Shadow Clan. I've heard that's really good.
Never heard of it.
Iron Brigade. That one's actually pretty fun.
That one's a Wakfu.
Anime tie-in.
Yeah. Okay. That
Yeah,
one.
Iron Brigade is kind of like a mech tower defense. You have a mech that you are going around in, but then you also have tower defense, like place down towers.
Oh, that's cool. Okay,
Kinda
Jade
fun.
Empire. I've got that on original Xbox.
Jetpack, Jewel Quest,
Joe Danger, the movie.
Special Edition, Joust, classic
Joyride Turbo, Juju.
Just Cause games.
I've got one of the Just Cause. I think maybe is there a third one?
Yeah,
Maybe it's Just Cause 3 that I have.
yeah, they're open world, kind of do whatever you want.
Okay.
I think excuse me, the
GTA or
yeah, kind of like GTA, but a bit more like not like so much city.
okay. All the Just
Or,
Dance games. that finishes
the,
off the J's. Okay.
What's that game? The one you have I'll
Okay.
remember it. I'll remember it later.
Cameo Elements of Power, fantastic game. I got that on both 360 and again on Rare Replay. Kane and Lynch, I think I've seen, but I've not played.
I've heard Kane and Lynch can be really good.
Okay.
I just don't know how much it is like the Far Cry games is what I was thinking.
Oh, Far Cry. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like I always put those two together.
Yep.
Just Cause Far Cry, it's like similar types of.
For some reason, I think I slipped up, and when I got Just Cause 3, I think I said Far Cry, not realizing that they're similar.
Yeah,
It's
like
just
they are.
it's just like just the name that came out of my mouth. Like, and I went back and edited. I'm like, I'm stupid. I was talking about Just Cause, not Far Cry. dummy.
they are.
But okay.
Connect. King's Quest, which I think I have.
I've got
something like that on. PC.
I think I have complete collection. I think I got that through Retro Game Treasure.
You have King's Gold, but I don't.
Kung Fu Panda. I've got one of the Kung Fu Panda games.
King of Fighters games. Fighter games are everywhere. There's some.
LA Narv.
We gotta. Hey, look. Yeah.
We got to finish that game.
Yeah.
Lazy right.
I debated buying it myself and seeing just how badly I could do with like Twitch choose the answers.
That sounds really fun.
I think I'm torn between that would be frustrating because you get nothing solved, and that would be really fun because Twitch chat does there's nothing and just hive mind answers the game with no context.
That sounds really fun though. Yeah.
I would debate getting it on because I'd get it on PC.
Yeah.
And
okay, all the Lego
Legend of
games.
Spyro.
Oh, okay. Is that like the first one? Dawn of the Dragon?
Dawn of the Dragons. Yeah, I know that's one of the earlier ones, but
Okay.
there's a Spyro collection you can get on newer consoles that gives you the first three. So
But I also heard on that there's two different versions where one of them you only get the first one physically on the disc and the other two you have to download, but then they re-released that has all three physically on the disc.
I was given a digital copy, so I don't know.
Okay.
I was literally go because my Xbox is digital. I've got the digital only version.
Okay.
Actually, do I have it on there? Oh no, I think do I have I gotta look through. I got a whole bunch of just unredeemed keys on PC that I could have an extra copy on there even.
I've got Lego Indiana Jones and I've got the Lego Star Wars 1 and 2 on PS2, but I got Indiana Jones on 360. That came with Kung Fu Panda, and that was a 2-pack that came with my 360. Yeah, I hear the Lego games are always really good. I'm not surprised because Lego Star Wars is fun, and Indiana Jones is
Yeah,
pretty fun.
I
So like all the Lego games, these are all
Lego Harry Potter, Lego Jurassic World. I managed to pick up the
Avengers.
Lego Lord of the Rings before they discontinued it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I've got all the Lord of the Rings
That's cool.
and
They're
Lego.
yeah, I'm sure those are really fun too.
I want to pick them up because you aren't going to get them. You'll get them,
Yeah, sure.
and Lego games are fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, maybe at some point I'll play through it, but it's
Let's cheer. Connect game. Life is Strange. I'm only
That's a
episode
good
one.
one.
I hear Life is Strange is really good.
yeah, that's good.
Logo Cycle, Load Runner. I've heard of Load Runner.
Lost Odyssey I've heard of, but I don't know much beyond that. Lost Planet I know I've heard. It's
I've
really
got
good.
I've got that one. I've got Colonies. Lucidity. I've heard of that one. And then episode 2. Okay, we're halfway through. We're an hour in and we're halfway through. Wow.
Yeah.
Mafia 2, I think I have. I don't think I have Manhunt. I think I have that on my wish
They were
list.
halfway through and just cut the thing right there. just suddenly end the episode. Add that we're halfway through and just cut it off and then just start with them just laughing about it.
Oh, okay.
Mafia, Manhunt, Marathon, Mark of the Ninja. I do plan on playing on stream.
Okay.
I was halfway through. I played through most of it, and then they remastered it, and I got the remastered for free because I owned the original on
Okay.
PC. And so now I own both copies, and so I'm like, do I play through it again? Do I stream the remastered as like a brand new experience for me that I like kind of know? I don't know.
Mars, Warlogs, Marvel Puzzle Quest, Masquerade, Mass Effect. That's great. I've got the trilogy on PS3.
I just bought the Legendary Edition, and I have not played past 2 hours into the first game.
I have not played it at all. I bought it on PS3 like over 10 years ago.
The main reason I bought the Legendary Edition because it includes all DLCs except for one that was really because they literally lost the source code to the game,
Wow.
so they couldn't re-release this one DLC. A fan went back through and remade the DLC and released it as a mod for the
That's
PC version.
crazy.
So that's why I bought it on PC, so I can add in that one mod to add in the one missing DLC. And then I'm debating doing like a couple like UI or quality of life, just to make the game feel better.
Yeah.
But like nothing to overly like new weapon or like maybe like weapons like from 1 into 2 or something, just to like lightly spice up things without like completely overhauling and breaking the game.
Okay. Max Payne 1 and 2 I've got on PS2.
I heard those are good.
I hear they're really good,
never
yeah.
played it.
Max Curse of Brotherhood,
Throughout.
Interruptions, Mega Man 10, Mega Man 9. It's kind of funny that because of 1-0,
Yeah, no,
that bothers me, but okay. Mercenaries, I've heard of it.
yeah, that's about all. So Lucas,
Oh, okay.
that's all I know.
Metal Arms.
Metal
Metal
Arms, I think
Gear.
I've heard of, but that's about it. Metal Gear, I've heard some of them are really good, some of them are not. It just really depends on what you're after in it.
I hear that Rising is just different because obviously, like, these others have Snake, and I don't think that's Snake.
Oh, there's also multiple snakes. So
Oh, okay.
It's some. gets
Okay,
really
when I
complicated.
think of Snake, I think of this guy
yeah,
and this guy and
Yeah.
this guy. But
Yeah, I've
okay.
heard 5. The Phantom Pain, I think, is the one that I've heard that was like the best one. I think
okay.
I think that's what I heard.
Okay.
I know 5. I think they meant the Phantom Pain, but over Ground Zeroes. But
Well, that's just like a prequel to it.
okay,
Yeah, because I want to say that I read that it was like a prequel, and the version of Phantom Pain that I have includes Ground Zero.
oh okay. So
yeah.
I want to say that he said that 5 was really good,
Okay.
and I think you said you've got all the Metal Slug. games?
I've got the Metal Slug collection on the Wii.
Yeah, which I think we had divided up on.
I think so. Yeah, I
Who's
don't
gonna
remember.
be
I don't remember
doing
how it
those?
was divided up, but yeah, the
a
list.
couple of those are really fantastic. I think 3 was actually one of the better ones, which is kind of entertaining that that's one of the few ones available here.
Metro, that sounds familiar. I think it's Last Light. Maybe I have
I was
Last
gonna say, Last Light and Exodus are the 2
Okay.
newer ones.
Shadow Mordor, I think I've got.
I'm really upset about that series
Really?
because they copyrighted the Nemesis system, so other companies can't use it.
Really?
And then they completely abandoned.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, that's the thing. I get it if it's like, okay, we're making these games, we're actively using the system, we have a copyright for it. But if you don't make a game with that system for 10 years or something, I think that it should like.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, honestly, at some point, just let other people use that. Like the enemies run away.
Blinking fast now.
I think we're running out of space, so.
Yeah. Okay, Mirror's Edge. I've got that
That's a
downloaded on
good
the
one.
PS3.
Monaco's good if we want to play it. I have one. See,
Okay.
Monkey Island,
I-
Monthly Plus,
Okay, yeah, I got to play the Monkey Island games.
Morrowind.
Combat.
I still need to play at some point. I bought.
Murdered, I've heard of. I hear that's pretty good. I got a couple of the MX versus ATV games. My Body Coach. Okay. At least when we get to the end of the alphabet, it starts.
And Plus is good if you have it.
I've heard
It's
of
a
it.
platform, like side-scrolling platformer where you're a ninja and you can jump off walls and avoid traps.
Cool.
And it's multiplayer,
Delay.
so.
Nier, is that the first, like the Automata?
No, I think that no, this is not Automata. This is a different Nier game. It's
Okay.
it's all complicated.
Okay.
Nights into Dreams,
I've got
fantastic.
that on the Dreamcast.
99 Nights. I've heard that was. I think that's
Or
the
no, Nights on Saturn. Yeah, okay. I've got that. Ninja Gaiden, I've got that one on the Wii U, I think. Okay, Nova Drum, never heard of that.
Yeah, Oblivion,
Oblivion,
fantastic.
Munch's Odyssey. Yeah, I recommend that one. That one's a good game.
Orcs Must Die if you like that. You like the horde.
Oh, I've heard of this. I hear this one's. Oh, you gotta pay for it though. I was hoping it was free because it's basically waifus, but as a shoot 'em up, like plain.
Outland, Outposts.
Gonna be a lot of P's. Yeah,
43,
Pac-Man,
Pac-Man,
Painkiller, Panzer Dragoon.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Panzer General, Payday. Play it on PC if you're gonna play it. Payday
Okay.
2.
Yeah,
Penny Arcade. I heard those were good.
because I actually got one of the Payday
Perfect
games recently. Perfect Dark is good.
I've really
Fantasy Star.
Fantasy Star Universe. Surprisingly, I don't believe is available elsewhere.
Really?
But the problem is that I don't know if the servers are still up. So it's one of those like
okay.
issues where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'd love to play it, but how do I play it?
Plants vs Zombies, great game. I've got Garden Warfare.
I think I own the 360 version of Plants vs Zombies, and if so, there's a
I do.
co-op.
I
There's a
got it.
co-op version of it, so
Okay.
like a co-op mode in it, which is kind of.
What's still alive?
It's the first Portal game.
Oh, okay.
They just call it Portal Still Alive.
Well, me and Citrus Fruit, we played that on the channel pretty recently, so viewers check that out.
Okay, we'll have to determine who's doing Portal 2.
You guys are gonna have to fight over that.
I was gonna say I
Prince of
have people to play
Persia.
it with too. So if you,
That one seems. I think I might have Forgotten Sands.
not bad.
Prototype. I've got one of the prototype games.
Prison Architect.
I hear that game's really good. I hear Psychonauts. Really
Yeah,
good.
I've heard that's really good. Some of these games are like they're available on PC in a slightly better format.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay. Can't be a lot of Q. Okay.
4
4 Q games.
Quake. Yeah, I was expecting Quake.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was expecting.
Oh,
Sorry,
jeez.
lots of R's.
Okay.
Rabbids,
Rage. More
Ratatouille surprisingly was kind of entertaining.
Okay.
I watched there's a GDQ where they
Mhm.
did that, and the main guy, as he was explaining things, he had everyone say yes, chef.
That's funny.
It was rather entertaining. Yes, he
I've
did the
got
tricks.
a couple of the Rayman games.
That'd be fun for the three of us to do.
Okay. Resident Evil, Red Dead Redemption, and Red Dead Revolver. I've got both of those. I've got Red Faction 2, I think on PS2.
I heard Gorilla is the one that I see the most. Renegade Ops is a decent arcade game.
Okay. The Resident Evil games, we got to play through those at some point. A lot of Resident Evil games.
Well, I was just say, yeah, 5 and onward is where they start getting 5 and 6 are I think are the only multiplayer ones though.
Well, Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Huh.
All 4 and before there was no multiplayer.
Okay.
at
Well,
all.
we can still take turns or something.
Yeah, I mean you saw me play through Resident
Yeah,
Evil 4 on stream.
Yeah.
So.
Rise of Nightmares. Too bad it's a Kinect game. I think I have the Risen trilogy.
Nice. Hey, Rock Band.
Yeah,
Once
Rock
I didn't
Band.
not that many people play that one because the equipment's so impossible to get.
hmm Rock of Ages. I'm sure that's expensive because it's Atlas. Um,
All right.
a lot of S's probably.
120.
Oh wow. Okay, we got a
Saints Row.
yeah. Those are good.
Those are good.
Samurai Showdown. Those
I've heard
look
those are
fun.
good. Sanctum 2 is a tower defense shooter. Those are always fun. Scream Ride I heard was decent. Section 8 Prejudice is a really good one.
Okay, never heard of that one. Kojima and Earl's great.
Yeah, because they did a lot of collection stuff.
Yeah.
And this is
Shadowrun. I've heard of that one. Shinobi's good. I picked that up recently. The Pirates
yeah,
game.
because all the anything Sid Meier's could be in here.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, there's only one.
Silent Hill. I think I've got both those. I've got that on PS3. I think I got both those on PS3. Skate, Skulls of the Shogun, Skyrim. Kind of surprised it's not under the E's for Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, it's
Splendor,
good.
I've got that. I think digitally on PS4. Sniper Elite, I've got a couple of those.
Yeah, all the Sonic games.
Yeah, I've
are
got
gonna be
Sonic.
RSs. I
Yeah.
own most of these.
I've got most of these.
It's actually
Sonic the
record
Fighters. Oh, I've got that on
collection.
Yeah.
One of the collection
Yeah.
discs has it on it.
yeah, Space Invaders, Splinter Cell,
Yeah, SpongeBob,
Star
Star
Ocean.
Ocean, Star Wars.
These are fantastic.
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 are also fantastic. I've got
Republic
that on
Commando
GameCube.
is really good.
I've got these, I think, on PS3.
State of Decay is a good series.
hear that
I
one's
recommend.
good.
Was it 2 is the current one, and then 3 is about to come out.
Okay.
About quote unquote. You know.
Yeah. Street Fighter, Super Meat Boy.
That's good. Street Fighter again.
All right. A lot of T's probably. Not as many,
64.
but
Tom Clancy games are typically pretty good. Rainbow Six is
Yeah.
probably my favorite of them.
Tecmo Ball.
Terraria is decent. PC has the most content, so
Okay.
that's there. The Bridge is an interesting game if you like puzzles.
I'm
The
intrigued.
Escapists are, like a co-op, like Escape from Jail type deal.
Sounds fun. Evil Within, I've got that.
Great game.
Walking Dead, I've got seasons 1 and 2 on the Xbox 360.
I own Thief. I don't know if I don't think I'm going to stream it for the
I've got
because of the content warning on it. There's a nudity warning on it.
Oh, okay. Okay, well we can at least record that and I can censor. But
Yeah. Streams is just a bit harder.
Yeah.
Suddenly I have to,
Yeah, okay.
it's a little
Thrillville,
harder.
I've got
It plays a lot like Dishonored.
okay. I've got one of the Thrillville games on PS2.
I think Off the Rails.
Okay.
Time Shift is actually pretty
I
interesting.
think I picked that up recently, like maybe last year.
If so, I will definitely. 'Cause
Okay.
That's one that I was like, wow, that sounds like fun. And then,
I think I do have that. I picked it up at like a flea market like last year or something.
Two
Tomb
Humans, an
Raider.
interesting one. They shut down the servers though, from what I
Oh.
understand, so you can't play online with other people.
Okay.
Torchlight's an interesting game.
I hear Toy Story 3 actually has a really good like sandbox mode.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I've only played Toy Story for the N64.
Okay, I picked that up recently on
And Two Worlds and Two
PS2.
Worlds 2 are fantastic. They were meant to rival Elder Scrolls, but they just stopped making them. Hey, look,
Return of
Unreal. Hey,
Such a good game. Okay,
the newest one did horribly though.
really.
They put it into like an early access, and then everyone hated it.
Uh-huh.
And they just like basically dropped the ball, from what I understand.
Viva Pinata.
Viva Pinata.
I forgot there was a sequel to that.
Yeah, they're both fantastic. I think
Virtua Fighter
you should have both of them from me.
I got one of them in like a 2-pack with Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and
Mm.
Bolts. The second one I don't know if I have.
If not, I might have.
Okay.
Do I have them both? I don't know because I think they're playable on. I don't know if they're playable on Xbox One. Something to check out.
Watch Dogs,
Warp
I've
is
got
decent.
that.
Watch Dogs, good. Watchmen, of course, the obligatory tie-in. Samurai, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Wick, I think I've heard of before. Witcher's fantastic.
Wolfenstein's good.
Wolfenstein's good. Worms, can never go wrong with some Worms.
True. And
I think
Wild Things.
Wrecked was trying to do a Burnout and just did not do fantastic. XCOM, yes.
All right, and then
7 Wise.
Yar's
Do I
Revenge, the
know
classic.
any of these?
I've heard of Yar's Revenge because that was
Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what I've heard.
yeah. Okay, Z
11. Hey,
Zapper. That looks kind of fun.
Xenoclash. I know that game.
Atlas, so it's going to be expensive. I got Zoo Tycoon on
Zoo
the Xbox
Tycoon's
One.
Zumba. Yeah.
Then lastly,
The numbers.
None. All right. Well, it looks like my capture card is about to run out of space, so we're gonna just we won't talk that long, but yeah, that was us going through the Xbox 360 store. I hope you guys enjoyed, and this is the last time that we'll ever see this.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of memories. I'm sure you guys have a lot of memories. Share your favorite memories of the Xbox store in the comments below.
Yeah. Hopefully they, or your least favorite memories of navigating the store. That's a whole.
Yeah, because I got to experience that today because I'm like, why is this thing so stupid? But
The problem is that it used to be better on the previous versions, and then updates broke things. I remember not having as much problem because they had the old. You should actually look up and if you can display the old versions of the dashboard because the dashboard had 6 different versions or something.
oh wow,
They had so many. Everyone loved the Blades dashboard because it literally had less like window, like you pulled it across and it was like the next page over.
Oh, that's cool.
It was really cool.
Okay, future me, post the Blades.
Yeah,
Xbox
the
360
Xbox
Blades. Yeah. But yeah, that's this video. If you haven't yet, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, all that fun stuff. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the Blades, and you just bump
I
right
like
back
that.
and forth between the
I like
different
that,
pages.
yeah.
They went from that to this, and this is
I
like
hate
why?
it. I hate it.
Why? That's why people still want 360s that never updated past the Blades because you can stay on that hardware.
Yeah.
Software. I'm like, man, this was ideal. I mean, even if they did like some hybrid like this reimagining, like a mix between the two, they could do good.
Yeah.
But just being able to go between major tabs on your screen easily is fantastic.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, like I said, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Join the Discord. You could hang out with me and Kaj on
And
there.
others.
And others as well.
And join us in the next one, I guess, for whatever we're doing next.
Yeah. Catch you guys then. Goodbye.